Hello, mortals. I am the demon Aquarium adventurer. Here on this most dastardly of days to come and entertain you on a Friday evening. I need to pop my collar. I need to pop my collar. Now, I demand of you, give me your sweets. That's what we do at Halloween. No? Yes? Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to... This is quite ridiculous. Welcome back to Fishy Business number 377. Or a number there or thereabouts. It's Halloween, for those of you who do not know. We've been celebrating Halloween in the household of Aquarium Adventures today. So I thought I'd dress up to, bring a bit of Halloween cheer. Do a bit of guising for you. No idea if anyone can actually hear me. And it is 5 million degrees in here, so this will not be staying on for long. So, who have we got in? We've got Lisa's here, as is Stuart from a noisy fireworks-filled Wolverhampton. It's very much like that here as well. It started raining though, so hopefully that'll put them off a bit. And now it's so hot in here, my glasses are steaming up and I can't see shit. Oh! It's much worse, says everybody. Leggies says good evening. Aquarium Delirium, good evening. Brian, are you okay? Yes. I know, Brian. You need to calm your shit down. Don't live your life on Facebook. If you're having problems, reach out to people. Don't post stuff. I did reach out to you. I hope you're all right. But yeah, that's not on. But we'll move swiftly on so as not to lower the tone. What are the fireworks for? Well, in the UK, we have Bonfire Night as, remember, the 5th of November. Gunpowder, treason and plot. So we have a traditional celebration on the 5th of November. It's called Bonfire Night, Fireworks Night. When I was a kid, it was on the 5th of November. But nowadays, it seems to run from mid-October to mid-November. Or mid-January, because it kind of rolls into everything. That fireworks just randomly go off at any point. And so Halloween, fireworks. 5th of November, fireworks. New Year, fireworks. Christmas, fireworks. Just fireworks, whenever. But yes, we've had Halloween tonight, and 0 people came to my door. So I've got a big bag of sweets upstairs waiting for me after the stream. That's all I can say. Because none of the kids came. We kind of live out the way, so I guess that's why. Good evening and happy Halloween, everyone. Thank you, Apple Gal. Thank you, Brian. Such an improvement. Thank you, Stuart. Graham looks better. Oh, it's hot in there. It's hot everywhere. Ooh. It's already like 26 degrees in here. I really don't need anything else to make it look even hotter. Howdy and happy Halloween, indeed. Horrifying. Should have done a Brian mask. It would have been scarier. Yeah, what, that Brian or you, Brian? Paul, happy Halloween, people. Nice to see you. Navy Nige, how we doing? Sandra Debus, hello. No fireworks here. No, thankfully they have calmed down now. I'm just trying to listen out for them. But I think it's raining, so they haven't done. Happy Halloween from Bolton. Nice to see you. Are you talking about Guy Fawkes Night? Yes, it is. 5th of November, Guy Fawkes Night. Do you know, I won't spoil my random facts because there may be some quiz questions about that. Looking good, says Elite Logos. Is that before or after? Because after... Look at this. This is a gift from Phil at Elite Logos. He sent me this. A Brian t-shirt, the boss. With Aquarium Adventures logo, polo shirt. Very nice, very nice. I like it. We get less and less each year, so I'm pretty much just buying all the candy I want. Yeah, that's exactly what I did. We happened to be in the supermarket, and like he was like, "Oh, we should get some sweets for the kids when they come around." I was like, "Yeah, we're buying these, and these because I like them." Having to sedate one of my dogs, the fireworks stress her out. Yeah, mine have been all right about that. Unfortunately, I lost one of my dogs this week, so very sad. I'm down to just one dog. We had to say goodbye to our favourite little mutt, Mia. She was not very well, and the time had come, so we had to say goodbye to her. So I'm going to raise a glass to my little doggy, and I'm going to hope my wife's not watching because she'll be crying. Didn't mean to do that. But she's in a better place now. So here's to my wee dog. I posted a picture of her in Discord where she was dressed up in her Halloween outfit a couple of years ago. Which, nice. Your dog dies one day and then you keep getting memories posted on Facebook of it. So that's fun. But again, not to dwell on the sadder side of things, we shall move swiftly on and remind you that for the rest of the evening, I have 2 quizzes for your delectations. Got the normal 20 questions Halloween themed quiz. And then we have another special edition Eliminator to come. And again, I'm quite proud of this one. I spent a lot of time on it. So, it is what it is. We've also got a bit of chat about what's coming up, what's been going on, what's going to be going on. Any talk about some new tanks, some new fish, some new ventures, all that kind of stuff. And as well as letting you guys kind of drive. So whatever you want to talk about, this is it. This is your chance. If you have come because you've seen one of my videos and you want to ask me about it, ask your questions. If you've got a random question about fish, life, the universe, whatever it may be, that's why we're here. It's a bit of a hangout. It's not necessarily just 100% fish, but you know, we do cross the line into fish every now and again. And also, we need to do a bit of a plug, so here's some admin coming up. Welcome, everyone, new and old. We are very close to hitting, I say we, because you're all involved, very close to hitting 100,000 subscribers on this piddly little channel, which, saying out loud, I can't really believe, but it's going to happen, and it's probably going to happen fairly soon. So, to celebrate, I think it's going to happen before we get to next week's live stream. So next week's live stream is going to be a giveaway bonanza of all kinds of things. I have some special merch, some special stickers, some special pens, t-shirts, all kinds of things that will be given away. But the star prize, for those of you that live in the UK or are willing to come to the UK to collect it, is a Fluval Flex 2.0. So you might have seen me in a recent video set one of them up. I actually got 2 from Fluval, and they gave me another one to give away to one of you guys to help me celebrate crossing the line for 100,000 subscribers. So that will be drawn next week, almost certainly, unless every now and again YouTube does a bit of a purge and knocks a couple of thousand subscribers off. So unless that happens in the next week, we should definitely cross 100,000. So officially next week will be the giveaway live stream bonanza. And there are 4 conditions. I put this in my last video where I was like, hey, you can win this thing. Well, there's only 4 conditions. Could I remember what the 4 conditions were? Could I? Buggery. You have to live in the UK and want one. Technically, that's 5 conditions then. Live in the UK. Be a subscriber. Follow me on Instagram. I've already forgotten the 4th one again. Live in the UK. Follow on Instagram. Be a subscriber. And a secret 4th one. Can anyone remember what was the 4th one? It might be turn up on the live stream so you can win it. I don't know. One of those ones. That's how it works. So the draw for that, or the competition for that, will be next weekend's live stream. So same time, this time next week, giving one of you Fluval Flex 2.0 for free. I'll even bring it to you, maybe, depending where you live. You live in Aberdeen? Tough. It's getting posted. Join the live stream. That was it, Hans. Thank you. I knew it was something simple like that. So that's the admin done. So if you want to get me over the line, that would be really nice. If you are not a subscriber and you're trying to type in chat and wondering why it's not working, I've turned on subscriber mode, so only subscribers can chat. Trying to encourage a few more people to subscribe. So click the subscribe button. There's all the other buttons. Join, all that goodness. If you join as a channel member, you get a few extra perks. I think I added even more extra perks. Did I add extra perks? I think I did. I can't remember what they were, but I did add extra perks. But one of the perks you get is in the quiz, you get extra points and extra lives in the Eliminator. You get 10% off anything at aquariumadventures.co.uk. You get something else. Hang on, I'm looking it up. Bear with me, callers. Membership offers special features. What's that? No, don't know what that means. Levels. Ah, yes. As a hero adventurer, you get to sponsor a quiz question. My brain. One day. So you get shout outs in the end of the videos, you get a discounted merch and plants and food and things, you get an extra life in the Eliminator quiz, you get loyalty badges, you get extra emojis, you get quiz points, and you get to sponsor a quiz question. And the sponsoring of a quiz question I've completely forgotten about, so I haven't done it this week. Nobody has joined as a hero member this week anyway, so no great shakes. That would have reminded me. Am I now trying to guilt you into doing it? No, don't do that. Just watch some videos. I would love that. Come and join, hang out, chat, say hello, all those good things. Admin done. Whereabouts in Scotland are you from? I am from Glasgow, specifically Cambuslang. I no longer live there, no, so I'm now in Sheffield. Just Average Dan, hello, how are we doing? Fish Farm Links is in. Mandy's very sorry. Yes, I am sorry too. I have 4. You're welcome to one. No, I don't really want to. I do want to get another dog. I've got another dog who's feeling very lonely at the moment, a bit like. But yeah, it's not fun. We'll get another one eventually. Rosie says, I have to say your tanks are looking so awesome. Great job. I love the one with the runny nose, the runny nose and angels, etc. Especially, thank you, Rosie. The rummy nosed tetras. That's called Mega Tank 2. That's my second DIY big tank. I love it too. I think it's looking really good at the moment. I did do proper attacked it and gave it a good haircut in there and a good trim, so it's looking quite good, I think. So I'm pretty happy about that. I'm pretty happy at how it's going. I am, for those of you who haven't been following along the videos, I've been trying to do a series of Graham becomes a pro aquascaper. I don't know if this is something you've noticed. I've done 3 videos now on me becoming an aquascaper and getting better at it, or trying to get better at it. And those videos have been 8, 9, and 10. So you do not like these videos. So I don't know if I'm going to have to knock that on the head. I'm going to still keep doing it because I almost said I'm enjoying the process. I'm not enjoying the process. I'm getting really stressed out about it because I keep making monumental cock-ups or having, well, let's call it bad luck rather than cock-ups. But I'm enjoying trying to get better at aquascaping. But as a YouTube vehicle, not really working. So they're my 3 worst performing videos that I've put probably the most effort into, other than my Mega Tank ones. So I'm not sure whether that's going to live on as a series on YouTube, but it's going to live on as a thing that I'm going to continue to do. So it might just be, rather than about me talking about aquascaping and trying to get better at aquascaping, it might just be something that happens in and amongst the other videos. So I'm still trying to work it out. I'm not really in what we've done. Not really 100% sure where I want to go with that. Question, why have you went skinhead? I mean, this is just normal haircut size, and I'm going to a wedding tomorrow, so I need to try and look my best. I've trimmed the beard, I have trimmed the eyebrows, and trimmed the head. So this is about as smart as I get. Applecard says, "Yay, 100,000 subscribers!" I think literally we have. You know, if you want to share some things, we need 448 more subscribers. So if that could happen in the next couple of hours, that'd be good. So there's a share button down there if you want to help out. You could do that. If you're in any fishy groups, any fishy societies, Facebook groups, Discord servers, all that kind of good stuff, just go, no, nudge, nudge. You know that Scottish guy? He needs a wee hand up. I won't be here next week. Can I get a free gift? I followed you on Instagram even. Well, you know, you have to get 4 out of 4. Sorry. Apple Strudels made a live stream at last. Nice to see you. Good evening, says Average Dan. The wife is happy with the shrimp and tetras. Oh, so this is... I sold some fish today. This is one of the things I want to talk about. The wife is happy with the shrimp and the tetras, although the shrimp are now hiding. They kind of do that until they get used to things. Make sure you check out the website. Plants I bought last week, all doing fantastic too. Thank you very much, Dan. I bought a load of fish because next weekend... Is it next weekend? I think it is next weekend. There is the Bradford fish auction. Google it. I can't remember where exactly in Bradford, but I'm going to it. I have booked a lot in the Bradford, so I've bought a bunch of fish, and I have a bunch of fish of my own that I was going to sell on. But Dan has taken some of the ones that I was going to sell, and Phil has taken some of the ones that I was going to sell, but I still have plenty more to sell on. So that is part of me trying to expand the businessy side of things and start moving more volume. So I'll be at the Bradford auction next weekend. I think last week I said I'll be appearing at, I won't be, I will be attending. That's the word I was going for. I mean, I will be appearing as in I'll go, but I'm not going to literally walk through the door and go, ta-da! I will just be there. And then a couple of weeks after that, there's the Sheffield SFAS, Sheaf Valley Aquatic Society. I have a nighttime auction, so I'm going to try and get a lot booked in that and go along to that one as well. And just see if I can move some plants, some fish, all those kind of things, because I think people really appreciate the auctions. Everyone that I've been to has been really popular, and it seems to be quite samey sometimes. There's the odd lots that are interesting that are like, well, yeah, oh, okay, that's pretty cool. But there's a lot of bristlenose plecos. There's a lot of guppies. There's a lot of endlers. There's a lot of shrimp. And it's just lot after lot after lot of those things. So I'm hopeful that I can provide a little bit more variety. And I'm doing it with a bit of a planning for failure mindset, that all the fish that I'm taking are ones that I wouldn't mind keeping myself. So if I take them and they don't sell, yes, they are a little bit different to your run-of-the-mill stuff. If it doesn't sell, I'll have it because I've got tanks set up that they can go into. That's fine. I am taking some run-of-the-mill stuff as well. So I've got like cardinal tetras. I've got like autos. I can't believe no people don't have autos. Everybody needs autos. Autos are amazing. I've got some panda cores. You saw it in my little quick live stream that I did. So I'll be taking a few things that are normal and a few things that are a little bit different. So that's what we'll be going for. So if you want to say hello, come along to the Bradford auction. Jugglers in. Happy spooky night, everyone. Happy yourself. Right, we want to get the quiz up so people can start joining it. Copy the link for you while I read the rest of chat. We'll try and start the quiz on time tonight at past. What's in the draw for all us Americans? Are we just chopped liver? Yeah. No, we will do some international gifts as well. So I have got some things like... It's going to sound pathetic now. Stickers. Car air fresheners with my logo on them. Pens. Things that fit into a standard large letter thing. So I'm going to send large letter packs full. So it might be like a portion of food, a sticker pack, and an air freshener, or a pen and some other food, and a magnet, or you know what, all that kind of stuff. Stuff that I can send fairly cheaply without, it'll still cost like a 10 or 15 quid to send a tiny little parcel. But that'll be that for your guys. I'm also going to do a few international ones where it might be a t-shirt or a hoodie. but off the Etsy site because they will send internationally. So that kind of stuff as well for you guys. And I don't know whether to announce this yet because I'm not entirely sure whether I'm going to do this. We'll see how many beers I have later on. Maybe a secret something. Signed photo. Oh, there's one. I didn't think of that one. Thank you, Mal. Yeah, I'll take some pictures myself and send them. Fish Fits in. Happy spooky time. Thank you. Do they get a sponsor? Answer option D. Yeah, you can if you want. I do not come from Craig Lang. No. Wanderings with Missy. I'm miles behind, so I'm going to try and get things. What's your go-to Halloween fish? Gourami. Werewolf fish. I meant to do that today. I had a whole flippity flop. Oh, another one. So we only need 447 to go. I plan to do like a couple of shorts and Instagram reels of exactly that. I didn't think of gourami, but that doing much better. But with the werewolf fish, and I was going to like put Howling at the Moon and all. Ah, idiot. Sorry, not you, me. Sandra says, I like the last aquascape tank. You did a lot. Thank you. I liked it too. I hope it'll go well. If you want to keep trying it, doesn't have to be the only side of the hobby to explain. Yeah, I mean, I'm going to keep doing it. I just don't know if I'm going to keep making dedicated videos about it because they've gone aquascaping. No. But I like the process of trying to do it. I don't like the broken tanks and the swearing and the stress. But I'm hoping my next few will be a lot better because that won't happen. Mandy really liked it too. Thank you very much, Stevie P. Nice to see you, Stephen. How are we doing? Aqua scraping videos are hilarious. I mean, they're not meant to be, and maybe therein lies the problem. They're meant to be rousing, educational, like coming from behind. Well, that's not what am I going on about? Like, I can't stop thinking of coming from behind. Like redemption stories. What's the phrase? There's a phrase I can't think of. Like the loser come good. God, I've literally had a fingerful. And I've lost the power of speech. So they weren't meant to be humorous comedy videos. They were meant to be inspirational. Comeback? No, that's not it. Underdog. There's the word. Underdog story. Man who's shit at aquascaping wins world championship. Not quite, but that kind of thing. So far, it's man that's shit at aquascaping gets shitter and breaks more things. So, you know. Maybe promote the aquascaping videos and ask your loyal subscribers to go hype the video. Yeah, I don't know about this hype thing. People keep going, yeah, hyped you. And I'm like, have you? Thanks. I don't know what it means. So, yeah, well, the one that came out yesterday, if you could all go and hype that, whatever that means, if that helps, I'd love that. I mean, I feel bad moaning about it. It's got like 2,000 views in a day, which a year ago I'd have been like, what? It's got 2,000 views in a day? But that's like that's my number 10. It's my worst video. So, just go and watch it. That'd be nice. I'm an older version of MD now. I mean, I technically must be older than him, surely. Keep forgetting how old I am. Let's not go on that. In your aquascaping video, you had one stray hair sticking out of your right ear. Do you know what? That's a thing that happens every now and again. It's usually like a bit of sideburn rather than ear hair, but I have had an ear hair. Now I'm going to be paranoid and be sitting like this all evening trying to find it. Thanks for that, Mal. BJ12 Doctor, hello. there for everyone is the link for the quiz, which we will start in 5 minutes. This is your 5-minute warning. And because I've got my Stream Deck working, 5 minutes. Ah, wrong button. Idiot. 5 minutes. This is your 5-minute warning. Boots and cats and boots and cats. Nice to see you. Right, I'm going to skip on a wee bit because I'm miles behind. Ask Graham again what the secret is after a couple more. It's not so much the secrets. I've done a thing, and I don't know whether it's good or not. It kind of falls into that category of social anxiety of, oh, I don't know if I want to tell people about this. I've told a few people about it. We'll come back to this later. Yeah, that's what you call an incentive to hang out on the stream for a bit longer and get my numbers up. I'm not doing it for that reason. BJ is having a Halloween party tomorrow. The theme is disaster movies, and I'm the geologist who isn't believed. Oh, there's loads of good disaster movies. That was one of my options for the Eliminator tonight, was Halloween themed films quizzes. But I haven't done that. Thank you, Nigel. Shared on Facebook, so hopefully you get a few more subs. Underdog, thank you, Lisa. It was that one. I don't know how my brain works or doesn't work sometimes. I like to think that I'm fairly smart sometimes, and then every now and again, when I'm live on the internet, I'll be like, I've forgotten what words are. Yep, we now only need 447. We have one extra subscriber. Thank you, that one person. Oh, Scar. Thick lid. Kill fish. There, you're good at this. You're a born dad fish vet. These are like perfect dad joke type things. Oh, Apple Gal, thank you for hyping my videos. Whatever it is. I'm forever grateful. Thank you very much. Right. Oh, Hans with a great idea here. That's the one. I need a Temu aquascaping video. I do. Yeah, you're not wrong. And I did buy some aquascaping supplies from Temu. Wait till you see this. I must have 10 pairs of aquascaping tongs, scissors of different lengths. But can I find the normal length ones, you know, the ones that are like yay big? I thought, Temu, that would be a perfect place to buy them. What am I meant to do with that? Not only that, it sent me 2 of them. I mean, they're be alright for like getting in little places. I did get some normal or more normal, that's a bit more useful, but still not quite as long as I wanted. So I might go on Temu and get a few more. That is the problem with Temu. They'll show you a picture of 12-inch aquascaping tongs are available over here, but the ones you're actually about to click buy on and put in your basket are 3 inches. But you know, we'll find a use for. I found a use for them. I thought they were quite good for getting into little crevices, and yeah, so the more the merrier. Manscaping. Manscaping's greater than aquascaping. We're here for the ear hairstyling. I do have one rogue hair, but I thought it was in my left ear. That every now and again, you know, when you're just kind of sitting there and it's like, oh, what's that? And it's just one random hair that seems to grow like an inch overnight. And then I'll pluck it out and it's gone, and it'll be away, and then all of a sudden, I'm back. San Andreas. What, for disaster movies? Yeah, that was a good one. The Rock, that one? Maybe that's not the one I'm thinking of. For your ear hair, maybe that's where I could have used them. I mean, if I could find the ear hair. Is this disgusting? Hello everyone and welcome to Graham Tries to Pluck His Ears. Is that a thing? I think I've got it. I think it must have been one of these sideburn hairs. Thanks for getting me paranoid though, you know. One for each ear. I found second-hand huge tongs at Vivarium 2 years ago. I do have some proper huge. So you might have noticed in my first aquascaping video, I was aquascaping with these. So big, I can't even fit them in the screen in one go. But these are like 2 and a bit feet long, which I use on my mega tanks to get in and get things. And really useful for big tanks, not so much for little ones. Right. Rogue hair equals old. It does a little bit, yeah. Graham has just done a new aquascape with the plants that I got from you. All arrived nice and healthy. Excellent. I'm glad they have. Get out on the Discord, Graham. Show us your plants and your aquascape. It'd be good to see. I'd love to see what people do with the stuff they get from me. Even if it's just feeding videos and stuff like that. I mean, if you want me to, I had an idea of like using it as promotional material, like in the listings on the website, showing other people feeding their fish with my fish food. If you're interested in doing that, I'll maybe give you a free bag of food or something like that if we do that. But just share your pictures in Discord. I just like looking at other people's tanks and getting ideas for aquascapes. My favourite's the lady that bought a Christmas tree on Temu and it was actually only 6 inches tall and she still set it up with her normal sheet skirt as a way to shame herself. I know. I've done... You know I've done it loads of times, so I make videos about me doing it loads of times where I buy something completely stupid and just do not look at the actual dimensions of the thing. But some of them are so sneaky where they will literally, in the title, it will be, I don't know, 12-inch aquascaping tongs, stainless steel, and then in like a tiny little subtitle or in the description right at the bottom going, yeah, 12-inch stainless steel ones are really good. Unfortunately, these are wood and made of balsa and they will last 3 hours underwater. Oh, vigilance is key when shopping on Temu. Daylight is my OG disaster movie. Now, my favourite disaster movie, what would it be? Kind of like The Day After Tomorrow. Is it Day After Tomorrow? Is that one of them? Like 2012, that one? You know, when the world was meant to end in 2012. I'm just naming disaster movies. I can't remember if I like these or not. I like really stupid ones, so I can kind of scoff and go, that wouldn't happen. Daylight, I do like a Sylvester Stallone movie. And sometimes the worse they are, the better they are. I bought a body pillow on Temu. It was 12 inches long. Yes. I use chopsticks to plant. So somebody mentioned on one of my videos. So Apple Truth says I use chopsticks to plant my nano tanks. Not a bad idea. Somebody used said, oh, I was watching some video with somebody that was using cocktail sticks, you know, to plant small plants to get them into substrate without. Because one thing you often get with things of this ilk is by the time you get in deep enough, you've actually moved quite a lot of substrate and moved quite a lot. There's, although these aren't a great example because they're quite small, but bigger tongs to then get them in and then open them up and move them back out again. You disturb so much substrate that sometimes it's hard to get them to stick. Cocktail sticks seem to be the future. I've seen a few people doing that now. So that was a top tip that somebody left on one of my videos. Airplane, yes, Airplane. I mean, they're like spoof disaster movies, aren't they? I do like them. The latest Star Wars movie is a disaster movie. Oh, I wanted that one. Oh, I've lost my badum tish. There we go. Right, I said we were starting the quiz at past, and it's now 5 minutes late. Let me share little face. For those of you who like to scan things, here is the scanny thing. Nigel says, I use a disabled grabber to move things in my 8-foot. I use one of them too to move things. You want to make a scientist angry? Watch the film The Core. Oh yes, that's one. What was the other one? It's not daylight, but it's something like that. It's like sun, or they're like flying into the core of the sun, and they made a whole thing about how they had used all these scientific experts to check the science of the film, and then all the science community as a one went, which experts did you use? Because we want to fire them. Right, are we ready, people? We shall start the countdown. Remember, there are 20 questions. Questions 10 and questions 20 are gambling questions, where you gamble some of your points, all of your points, or none of your points. If you don't gamble any points, you can't win any points. And if you are a member, you get free points if you put in exclamation mark 75 or points. I can't remember. Put something. But question number 1. Which of these scary aquatic animals isn't real? Is it the vampire crab, the ghoul tetra, the Dracula fish, or the witch fish? Sunshine, that was the one. I think it was that one anyway. The Danny Boyle film, yes, indeed. Vampire crab, ghoul tetra, Dracula fish, or witch fish? Oh, Adam and Mandy in straight away. I obviously haven't started my thing. Hang on. I'll start the chat bot. Wherever it is. Professional. Sorry. I saw it anyway. So, who do you think it is? Oh, 9 for witch fish and 7 for ghoul tetra. The answer is ghoul tetra. There is a witch fish. It's a type of soul, apparently. So, there's your rankings. Let me give some extra points to Mandy and Adam, who are called, respectively, Zenny, who has 0 points. That's easy to add up. I don't even need the calculator. Now has 75 points. And Adam, who is Blawater, I believe. Why did I use a calculator for that? You are 153. What do points make? Prizes! Gal as well wants her points. Okay. Also has 0. That's easy. 75 points. Done. Which fish is Dracula? That one. Danionella dracula is a species of freshwater ray-finned fish belonging to the family Daniontidae. There you go. Question number 2. Who is Michael Myers' first victim in 1978's Halloween? Is it his sister, his dog, his neighbor, or his mother? At the risk of sounding like Rebecca, I've never seen these movies. A few of you haven't. The correct answer is his sister. A 6-year-old Michael Myers kills his sister Judith with a chef's knife. I think that's meant to say knife. on Halloween night of 1963. So well done, Lauren and Maureen. I think you were the only two that got that one right. Question number 3. In the film E.T., what did E.T. dress up as for Halloween? Are you detecting a theme yet, people? Woody, easy for me to say. Did he dress up as a teddy bear, a ghost, and answer option C? I've changed it up. It's not just answer option D, or a wrestler. It's not answer option C. What do points make? Prizes! Stevie P wants his 75. What do we think, people? Almost everyone going as a ghost. It was a ghost. Now, he did get camouflaged in amongst some teddy bears, but he went as a ghost. Who was that? Stevie P wants his 75. 210. You have, however, seen E.T. Do you know, I bought my wife a Blu-ray. She told me when we weren't married that she'd never seen E.T. and I couldn't believe anybody hadn't ever seen E.T. So I bought her a Blu-ray as like a little extra gift. She's still got sitting with the cellophane on it. In fact, yeah, she still never watched it. I don't know how you can be so unbothered about classic films. Anyway, I digress. Question 4. According to candystore.com, what is the most popular Halloween candy in the United States? Skittles, Starburst, Reese's Peanut Butter Cups, or M&M's? Now, long-term subscribers might know the answer to this one because I asked this question last year and was incredulous with disbelief. And I still haven't had one of them. Because, like you mostly think, it is indeed Reese's Peanut Butter Cups. Who knew? All these people. When was the last time you watched E.T.? It doesn't really stand the test of time. Yeah, maybe that's possibly true. It has been a while. Question 5. If you were born on Halloween, what star sign would you be? Libra, Virgo, Scorpio, Cancer. Zen Ginger knows this one because she is one. Eventually somebody gets lucky. Wait for the geography questions. 12 people going for Scorpio. Because it's Scorpio. Stevens, any getting that one and moving into first and second. Blawater stays in third. Question number 6. Which of these famous horror movie dogs is from 1983's Cujo? You detected that, did you, Juggler? Yes. Scorpio. Scorpio. Twelve of you have gone for C. Cujo. Yes, indeed. Can anyone name any of the other dogs or the films they're from? Is Silence of the Lambs. It is. I may have oversold this because I don't actually know where B and D are from. So moving swiftly on. Stevie P is in the lead. Zenny second. Blackwater third. Lauren A is fourth. SJH fifth. Question number 7. What is the title of this classic Walt Disney? Oh, that's useful. It's going to be a real dance, a real guess. Did I give it away? Hmm. I can't see the. I can't see it either. I don't claim to be a professional quizzer. What did you all go for? Almost you got it right because it was in fact the skeleton dance. Well done. The skeleton dance was released by Walt Disney in 1929, and then their video was made private in 2025. Just when I wanted to use it. So sorry, everyone. It was the skeleton dance. D. Answer option D. When everything else fails, go with D. Question 8. Moving swiftly on. What British musician was born Gordon Matthew Thomas Sumner? Not necessarily Halloweeny, but I was running out of questions. Gordon Matthew Thomas Sumner. Is that Elton John, Sting, Ringo Starr, or David Bowie? Most of you going for Sting. Most of you are correct. Elton John was Reg Dwight. Sting was Gordon Sumner. Ringo Starr, I can't remember his name, or David Bowie. So shows what I know. Blackwater taking the lead over Lauren. SGH making it into the top 3. Lane's been kicked out. There you go. There's the link back in again. He was a school teacher in my hometown, was Mr. Sumner. Was he indeed? What, just a random Mr. Sumner or that Mr. Sumner? Imagine being taught by Sting. Question number 9. Which of these events is not one of the 3 events in a triathlon? Swimming, running, cycling, or shooting? Remember, if you are kicked out or need to get back in, on the screen is the link as well. It was that Mr. Sumner, and he left to join the police. There you go. Rifle shooting is the correct answer. Yes. Triathlon is a swim followed by a run followed by a cycle, or a cycle then a run. I don't know. Biathlon is the shooting one, isn't it? That's skis and shooting. Lauren regains the lead. Regains or just takes the lead? Well done, Lauren. Right, question number 10 coming up. Remember, this is the first of your gambling questions. If you don't bet any points, you don't get any points, even if you get the answer right. But that might be a winning strategy. It's down to you to decide what your strategy is going to be. Here comes your cryptic clue. It's alive. It's alive. In Mary Shelley's 1818 novel Frankenstein, what is Dr. Frankenstein's first name? Is it James, Michael, Victor, or Daniel? What do we think? Oh, all bar one going for Victor. Dr. Victor Frankenstein creates the monster who doesn't actually have a name in Mary Shelley's classic tale. So it was indeed Victor. Oh no, Lauren was the one who did not get that right. Dropped all the way down. Still retained some points though, or was it Scat that didn't get it right? Right, your top three are SGH, Zenny, and Blawater. Question number 11. If the opposite sides of a single die add up to 7 dots, what is the total number of dots on a pair of dice? Oh, Rachel, it was me. Oh dear. How many dots on 2 dice? That's the simple way to ask that question. $42, $35, $56, or $28. Who's done the quick maths? Eight of you. It's 42. The numbers on the opposite faces of a 6-sided die always add up to 7. So 1 is opposite 6, 2 is opposite 5, etc. So all the dots on all the faces add up to 21. 2 dice, 42. Well done, Zenny. And Juggler. And Lauren. And Error404. And John. And Morley. And BJ. And Elaine. And Doug. Question 12. What slasher classic features this red-doored house? What slasher movie classic features this red-doored house? Is that Halloween, Last House on the Left, Friday the 13th, or Nightmare on Elm Street? What do we think? I must admit, I would not have got this one. But most of you would have done. Well done. It was indeed Nightmare on Elm Street. A lot of pop culture questions. Well, it's meant to be Halloweeny questions, Halloween theme. I've never seen any of these. They're too scary. That movie is the reason I jumped off my bed to go pee for years in my youth. Yeah, I didn't mind that. Nightmare on Elm Street, it's like, I get it. I wasn't that scared of it. There were some films that had no right to scared me. Does anybody remember a film called, what was it called? It was weird. Ghoulies, I think it was called. I'm going to have to look this up. I think it might have been Ghoulies. Terrible film. But like there was two bits in it. One of them came out of a toilet and one of them like pulled a woman's arms off or something like that. And I just remember watching this at like 8 years old, like, and I could not. It wasn't the Goonies, no. It was Ghoulies, and it's marketed as a fantasy comedy. But yeah, that did me in. Anyway, moving on. Moving on in a second. Once I read this comment, I was kind of weirded out by the never-ending story until I was a little older. Yeah. Never-ending story. Yeah. I had a friend. I don't know if he'll. There's no way he will be watching this, but I had a friend, a flatmate that I stayed with when I first moved to Sheffield. I lived in a rented house. I rented a room, bunch of students, and then a few of us lived there. And one of the guys got a tattoo, and he went in to get a tattoo of like a big like Japanese Asian dragon thing he wanted wrapped around his arm. He had all these like sketched drawings and stuff that he wanted to get, and he went in to get his dragon, and he came back so proud. And without thinking, he was like, "Oh, what do you think, G? Oh, have a look at that." And showed me his, and it looked like the never-ending story dragon. I went, "Oh, is that like Falcor, the Imagine Dragon?" His face was just like, but it was spot on, perfect. Anyway, I digress. That story won't mean anything to anyone else. Question 13. For which Stephen King adaptation did Kathy Bates win the Best Actress Academy Award? Is it Misery, Needful Things, Hearts in Atlantis, or Dolores Claiborne? Again, we talked about this a few weeks ago. Just have to show you this real quick. Falcor, the Imagine Dragon. So imagine if you'd gone in for an Asian tattoo. That's what you came out with. Sorry, Dan, if you're watching. Right. What was we were doing a quiz, weren't we? What did Kathy Bates win her Academy Award for? You have gone for not on the right screen, Graham. You have gone for Misery. The correct answer is Misery. I once saw a stage adaptation of Neverending Story. Wow. That sounds pretty cool. Was it good? The way you the way you phrased that as, I once saw a stage adaptation of Neverending Story, and it was horrific. The worst day of my life. It was fantastic. I could go anywhere, that sentence. But yes, it was Misery. Zany takes the lead over Blackwater. It's tight up there though. That movie is why she's one of my favourite actresses. She played Demure Cray Cray so well. She did. That was, I remember watching that in the cinema and being quite scared. The bit where that scene where she's holding the sledgehammer, but we talked about this a few weeks ago, didn't we? That scene where she smashes his ankles. I vividly remember everyone in the cinema going, "Ugh." I always hated that weird dog dragon. It did look like a dog, you're right. Right, question number 14. Where did Halloween originate? Was it USA, Europe, Scotland, Ireland, which I know is technically in Europe, or Canada? For this, read Europe means outside of Scotland and Ireland. Oh, this one is sponsored, but I left in the sponsorships. Well done, me. My epic forethought. Yeah, this one is sponsored by the Zen Ginger. 5 answers. Most of you thinking it is Scotland/Ireland. It is Scotland/Ireland. Well done, everyone. Zenny got it right. Well done. Question 15. Remember, if you want to sponsor a question, become a hero member, and well, we'll make it happen. Though all of these subjects were of epic films, which of these men was not a real person? No, all were the subject of epic films. Which of these men was not a real person? Lawrence of Arabia, Marcus Aurelius, Ben-Hur, or Spartacus? Which was not a real person? What do we think? Oh, we're not sure. So everyone's fairly convinced Lawrence of Arabia was a real person, and you are correct. The correct answer was, in fact, Ben-Hur. Spartacus and Marcus Aurelius were technically real people, or at least evidence points towards them being real people. What's that done to the scores? Zenny running away with it now. You're really going to hate my geographical final question. Question 16. What is the world record weight in pounds as of 2023 of a pumpkin? 270, 2,700, 27, or 27,000? What is the world record weight in pounds as of 2023 of a pumpkin? Do you like my pumpkin? Ooh, so one person thinks it's 27,000 pounds. It's not. 14 of you going for 2,700 pounds for a pumpkin. Yeah, 2,700 pounds. That's a big old pumpkin. Climbing Icarus, you're quite right. It is indeed 2,700, but please do not answer in chat. Question 17. What is a group of witches called? A scarum, a harem, a cloven, or a coven? Scarum, harem, cloven, coven. What is a group of witches called? Apologies to all dyslexics. Or should I say, apologies to all dyslexics. You think it's a coven. It is. After 17 questions, Zenny's in first place, SJH in second, Blawater in third, Juggler just sneaking up there in fourth place, just creeping up behind just to take all the glory right at the end. Stevie P just hanging on to his coattails, trying to do the same thing. Question number 18. What word describes integers greater than the number 1 that aren't considered prime? What are non-prime numbers called, basically? Are they component numbers, composite numbers, relative numbers, or redundant numbers? What word describes integers greater than the number 1 that aren't considered prime? What do points make?
Prizes!
Prizes! Lisa wants some points. 11 of you have gone for composite, 5 for component, 4 for relative, and 1 redundant. The answer is composite. In mathematics, a composite number is an integer greater than one that isn't prime. There you go. So Lisa wanted, Mona Lee is currently on 763. 838. Oh, that moves you up a few spots there, Lisa. As we go into the penultimate question. What supermodel has been dubbed the Queen of Halloween for her extravagant costumes and exclusive annual party? Is it Giselle Bundchen, Tyra Banks, Heidi Klum, or Christy Turlington? I like that description. Sorry. I'm going to have to use that because I feel like that a lot. I feel like I knew that at one point, but it was gone when I went to retrieve it. Yeah, there's loads of things I come across. I'm like, I know the answer to this, but is it in my head anymore? No. There must be a name for that feeling. Anyway, what supermodel is known for extravagant parties? Oh, not sure. Most of you have gone for Heidi Klum. It is Heidi Klum. Oh, Zenny missed out, but retains the top spot. SGH in second. Stevie P's up to third. He's leapfrogged Juggler by answering slightly faster. Final question, so this could be anybody's, depends how we bet. Question number 20, another gambling question. Remember, you have to gamble something if you want to get some points. Good luck. Scary soundtrack. Scary soundtrack. That is your cryptic clue. What could that mean? What iconic horror film soundtrack features Tubular Bells by British musician and producer Mike Oldfield? Is it Nightmare on Elm Street, The Exorcist, The Omen, or Halloween? Mike Oldfield's Tubular Bells featured on this film. In fact, it was made by this film because it didn't do very well until it came out. What do we think? Oh, 16 of you have gone for The Exorcist. Or was it meant to be playing you the song? Could I play you the song without getting copyright? Probably not. I was about to try and do it with like beatbox style. So just everyone go and Google Tubular Bells and listen to it for a minute. And then you would know, like everyone else, it was The Exorcist. It was indeed. So what that has done to the scores on doors is... Hang on, I need to get all my things ready for clapping. Right, here we go. Finished trivia. Your winners are... Stevie P, 2,940 in third place. And second place, HGH, 3,114. And in first place... 3,243 points. What a fantastic and resounding victory. Juggler scraped into fourth place, just ahead of Blah. Just ahead of Lauren, did well. Come back all the way from there. Right, now we get everyone's favourite bit, a bit of live spreadsheeting. Bear with me while we do this quickly. So delete that. Copy that. Minimize that. So you don't need to see my tax return. Hang on. That one. Where's it gone? On that thing where it's opened a tiny version of it somewhere. Bear with me. A bit of quizzing. Right, hang on. Right, it's there, but it won't open it. There. Why won't you open, you damn stupid spreadsheet? Right. Week 3, this is week 4. Which means our winner is Zenny. One more time for our super winner. 200 points ahead of Stevie P, Error 404, Blackwater, Juggler. Brian is in 6th, Mona Lee, John Applegal, and Lemoy in 10th place. Well done, everyone. Right, let me close that, save it, get rid of that, don't save it, and big face, so you don't have to look at my desktop anymore. And I move that out the way as well. Well done, Zenny. Quite right. Can we have more maths questions to hobble Zenny a bit? Surely maths questions should be right in your wheelhouse, Zenny. Get that back up. Yeah, you did. Yeah, 129 points. Ish. But unfortunately, we don't do prizes anymore, so, you know, well done. Juggler, how much did you sell the Jugglebot to Mandy for? How are you going to manage the quizzes if you ever have 100 playing? I mean, I don't know. How many people have we got here tonight? Well, we did have 59 at the height of the quiz. But I think this quiz software is good for up to 100 players, I think, something like that. So we should be able to do that. Okay, I mean, it's not like a... Yeah, I can do 100 players on this version of the quiz. I think we're safe for a while. Let's do a quick check of the subscriber count. Has it moved at all? It has. Not very much, but it has moved. We now only need 443. 443 to get to 100,000. I did think about doing I'm streaming until I get there, but I might be streaming until like Thursday, so don't know about that. And I have a wedding to go to tomorrow, so I can't really do that. It just wouldn't work. Is that not working? I can't get the Never Ending Story song out of my mind now. Never Ending Story. Right. We have done quiz number 1. There will be one more quiz. I'm going to let you into a little secret and say this quiz is called the Eliminator, as you all know. But it's the Eliminator dash AI ain't all that. So I've taken a little bit of a leaf from Stevie P's book here. And this is going to be a quiz based on pitting 2 AIs against each other to come up with a quiz question. A fishy quiz question at that. So we'll leave it at that to just kind of pique your interest to see if you want to hang around and play that game. We will try and kick that off again at past, so we've got 15 minutes. I want to use this time now for you guys to open the floor to you, ask any questions you want to ask. We can talk about anything you want to talk about. Every time I make a video, I say, come along to the live stream and ask me questions. If you don't want to leave a comment, and we can discuss it in real time. So this is your chance to do that if you want to. So if you've got questions, ask your questions. Or if you've had enough, like BJD 12th Doctor has, and is off to bed, good night. Thank you for joining us. Hey, can you imagine the crashes if it gets to 100? I know. I mean, this one's not too bad, the crowd part, but I'm upset at the amount of money that the crowd part costs or how often it crashes. I keep saying it, and I will do it one day. I think I just need to make my own quiz, like to host my own quiz on my own server. So I'm not competing with everyone else, and it is just the 100 people that want to play that we can do it like that. But it kind of has all the features that I want to use. So it's quite useful. We'll see it. I think we've got a long time before we have to worry about that. Aquatic Menagerie. Hi. Hello yourself. Brian says, as it's going to be my last live for a while, can you play the pipes, Aquarium Adventures? No. As in, can I play the pipes? As in, do I have the ability to? No. Can I play the pipes? As in, will I? Also no. I am a Scotsman who does not like bagpipes. I cannot be doing with them. It's like madman strangling cats to me. I do not like bagpipes. Do not get the point of them. The one Scottish thing I do not get any... Nothing that grabs me and goes, oh, bagpipes. Oh. I'm like, oh, God, bagpipes. Oh. No. Oh. So GeoGuessr, well, we could do GeoGuessr. I do like GeoGuessr. You don't. And as much as I always say, oh, the YouTube is just for me, I do this. And if you like it, that's great too. I like playing GeoGuessr. I like the GeoGuessr games. Almost to a T, none of you do. Some of you, aggressively so, do not like GeoGuessr. I quite like it. So we will throw it in every now and again. I just won't make it the main thing. That's all. Get the excuses in for early for all the wrong answers. I know, well, it's kind of a thing. Hopefully, by the time that I have 100 people wanting to play on my weekly live stream quiz, I'll be able to afford to pay someone to do a weekly live stream quiz. Then I can shout at that person, like, Brett, what the hell? Answer option D again. Ugh. Get fired. I don't know who Brett is. I don't know why I picked the name Brett, but you know what? Ryan's getting antsy in the background for some reason. Bagpipes are the best sound ever. They really aren't. I don't get it. No. Wanderings with Miss E says, how did you get into fish keeping? Well, this kind of gets... We're getting into the territory of the secret thing that I wasn't going to talk about there. But Oh, there's a long story here. You probably don't want the long story. I get into fish keeping by accidentally buying some rubbish discus and getting hooked trying to save them. So the story is I bought some discus. They were terrible quality. They were not compatible. I had a fish tank for years, and I got surprised by my lovely wife by a large fish tank. And I thought, well, if I've got a large fish tank, I need some large fish. And went down to my local fish store and said, I've got a big brand new fish tank. I need some big fish to go in it. And he went, oh, you should go for some discus. I went, oh, all right then. And he went, they're £1,000,000 each. And I was like, oh, for fuck's sake. So, but I bought them anyway, got them, and they almost immediately died. But in that process, I became a transition from person who had a fish tank as an ornament to person who cared for fish. And it was quite it was a direct route. It was a very much like, oh God, there's loads of things I don't know. Cycling, what the hell's that? Oh, algae bloom. Oh, I don't understand. Tank crash, what does that mean? Compatibility for fish. Whoa. I had a fish tank. I topped it up with water every now and again, and I replaced fish when they died. That was what I did for many, many years. And then when I got discus and spent a lot of money on them, and I'm ashamed to admit slightly that it was because I spent a lot of money on them and I was worried that I was going to lose my investment, I actually got into it and joined forums and read books and asked people about things, that all those kind of things. So that was what got me into it, because I started learning about it, and it was more that the more I learned, the more I was interested. And my personality, the way my brain works is I will be into things. Like if I was to go out and research a new TV, I would research everything. I'd be out there looking at every review I could find, looking at technical specs. I'd be doing comparisons. I'd have a spreadsheet comparing all the differences, and I would learn everything there is to learn about all the TVs that were available, and I'd go, well, that one's the best bang for my buck. I'm getting that one. With pets and things like that, that kind of thing had never come across. It just didn't marry up, but that was fish keeping was the first time that I've been like, right, okay, so there's a little bit of analytics here, there's a little bit of personal growth, and there's a little bit, oh yeah, I can get all this, and I can learn, and I can do it. And I did. I studied it, I learned it, I tried my hardest. I got upset when it didn't go well, I got happy when it did go well, and I was hooked by the hobby. So I didn't get into it, it got into me, kind of thing. And then it just escalated from there. So it was a case of, it was the classic case of, oh, I've got one tank, I'll get another one in case I need a hospital tank. Oh, probably need a quarantine tank for new ones. They might breed, I should probably buy a breeding tank. Well, if I'm going to have 4 tanks, I might as well get a rack. Well, if I'm going to have a rack, I should probably have a fish room. 10, 15 years later, this. So that's how I got into it. I hope that answers your question. I have a question about genetic issues in fish. Are you finding it to be an issue? I had 2 minnows that were deformed and unable to act normally, and a betta who seemed to be slow all died early. There are definitely, it's definitely a thing. So genetic issues, there are poor practices in the hobby, especially by some of the home breeders, shall we say, where they will, like, let's take a guppy. If you breed, there's a way to do line breeding, so you call it line breeding, and I always want to say chaos breeding, but it's not chaos, like community breeding, where you just kind of let them go at it. And line breeding is you're very specific about what you're trying to do, and it's almost like a process you can follow to make sure you kind of, I've made a line, I've locked this in. But if you go very slightly off that, it's inbreeding basically, and you're any slight deviation in good genes is just locked in. Like you're trying to lock in the good qualities of nice colors, nice patterns, good strong lines, good strong tails. little bit sickly. Oh, I've locked that into that one, and you don't notice it, and then all of a sudden you just got tanks and tanks full of fish that are a bit sickly. I always think of things like balloon mollies and all these like effectively deformed fish, which are marketed as, oh, this is the new thing. It's like it's not good. And where we think tank caught fish, wild caught fish versus tank raised fish, you tend to think tank raised fish is better because you're not stealing from the wild. The wild has the strong genetics. The tank bred ones are 9 times out of 10 done for profit. So you're trying to get as many as you can possibly out there. And the worst practices tend to get the best results in terms of numbers. And that gets into the supply chain. And then you'll get some fish that's going to last a few weeks and just die off, essentially. So I'm not finding it to be an issue because I'm quite particular about where I will get my fish from. But I see it because I see it at things like auctions, where if you buy fish from auctions and it is homebred fish, unless you know that breeder is a really good, reputable breeder or doing it as a small scale, if nothing else, you don't know what you're going to get, and you can find yourself getting these things. And a lot of times, pardon me, at local fish shops, if somebody's out there breeding, I don't know, Crebensis used to be a good example because you could accidentally breed thousands of Crebensis. And if you didn't keep on top of it, within months, you could accidentally breed 4, 5, 6 generations of Crebensis that were all interbreeding with each other, and all the worst traits would, Murphy's Law, would be the worst traits that would survive. And you take them to a fish shop, go, I've got 500 Crebensis, do you want them? And they'll go, yeah, all right then, you can have 10 pence a fish. Then they sell them on to someone else, and then they continue that cycle somewhere else. So that's how you get into this situation. So unless you're buying from reputable farms, reputable breeders, reputable X, Y, Z, there's a cost to that as well. And people are always looking for a bargain, and sometimes it's not that bad, so you kind of put up with it. But it does end up with the situation where you get bad fish. And the more popular our hobby gets, and the more I kind of imagine it as a graph, that the more popular the hobby gets, the better everything is, because you get more people coming into it. The more popular the hobby is, you're dragging the people who don't care, the people who were me 20 years ago, who were like, well, if that fish dies, I'll just buy another one. There might have been, like, if there were 100 fish keepers in the world, one of them might have been old me, who was like, I don't know anything about anything. I'm not going to do any research. I'm not going to learn anything. I'm just going to have a fish tank. It'll look cool. And if something dies, I'll buy another one. There was one of me. Our hobby gets more and more popular because of people like me making videos and trying to encourage people to come into the hobby. We get more and more of them. There's now 5 of me. So there's 5 people who are just going for the cheap and easy option and going, well, I'm not going to pay £2 a fish when that guy over there selling them for 50p a fish. Then we get more and more people into the hobby. There's now 10 of me. There's 20. There's 50. There's 100. So there's more and more people who are willing to buy those things, and then those things, they bleed into the other areas of the hobby. So it's kind of a self-defeating prophecy, a self-fulfilling prophecy, I guess, that the more we bring into the hobby, the more we expose the shadier, and it's not necessarily, nobody's doing this on purpose. I don't think. They're not like evil going, I can put out these horrible fish and everyone will be disappointed. They're just like, oh no, I've bred 500 Crebensis by accident. What am I going to do with them? So it's more on that side. So I don't think it's not necessarily a deliberate act. So it's just something you have to watch out for. I mean, things like when you say deformities, anybody worth their salt who's doing any kind of breeding should be culling deformities. They should not be putting them out there for sale. I remember one of my discus breeder friends would keep a tank of culls. He just didn't like culling them, but he wouldn't sell them. He'd just have a tank of culls. And if anybody ever came along and said, well, I'd really like to start keeping discus, but I'm not really sure about how to go about it, and I don't want to spend the money, he would give them some of what were culls. these were slightly deformed fish. They were slightly off. They might be heavily peppered. They might be bad shape. They might not necessarily bad. I'm immediately going to die bad. They just wouldn't be good fish, and he would quite happily give them to people to say, look, try it, see if it's for you for a few months, keep these, grow them up. I'll take them back when you're finished with them. Just don't breed with them. And the amount of people that would be like, oh, well, I've got a discus now and it's bred. I'm a discus breeder. And they'd be breeding really bad fish, and that's bad practice and that type of thing, where you should never be putting out deformed fish, I don't think. And one of the worst practices, I think, is when you call deformed fish like some mutant strain. Go, I've invented a new, this is now a balloon molly. This is now a, you're like, nah, no, it's just a deformity. Stop calling that a thing. So I've been waxing lyrical about that for ages. I haven't even looked at chat, so I'm very, very sorry. My chat is actually closed. Where's it gone? There it is. I like violins and mandolins. High-pitched sounds do it for me, I guess. Well, a violin can sound nice. A mandolin can sound nice. A bagpipe. No. Bagpipes can be pretty, I think, but sometimes they do get a little sad mosquito after a while. Yeah. I mean, I could play, what do they call the bagpipes about the bag? A chanter? Chanter? Chanter's sick. Chanter. Chanter? I'm going to have to Google this now. Yeah, chanter is like the bit without the bag that you could just blow into. I had a go on them a few times and I could carry a tune, but I do not like bagpipes. No, it's not my thing. Right, I'm miles behind, sorry. Oh, Nige says, aquascaping. Now that I'm an aquascaping pro, I can answer this question. I see a lot of aquascaping videos using large stones and rocks. How much does it affect the integrity of glass tanks? And do you think there might be a market for resin rock? There definitely is a market for resin rock. I think it's already quite popular. I don't think it's an issue as such. So I've used, I don't know if you can see these. Any one of these dropped from more than a couple of inches into this tank would smash it. I've got one over here. That stone there, next to Brian. That's hard for me to lift. It's enormous, huge. It's fine as long as it goes nowhere. But if that falls over, if I have an accident, that tank is broken. So it's an issue. It's something you need to plan for. It's something you need to, more with smaller fish. So a lot of people have commented on me going, oh, if Brian knocks that over, you're screwed. That weighs like 20 times more than Brian does. Brian, as powerful as he is he's got more chance of smashing the glass by doing this kind of stuff than he has of knocking that over. It's more an issue for smaller fish that dig. So for instance, this tank, some of these are probably more dangerous than the big ones that we're talking about over there, because the fish get in underneath them. They dig little caves, they move sand around. They're very industrious. They're constantly doing stuff. And if I wasn't using lots of little stones, if maybe there was a big stone there, but it was leaning against one of the other stones, and something came along, dug a little cave, that would be a problem. So that's something you definitely have to look out for, is to make sure you've not created some kind of dependency on one rock over another rock and that something digs it up. I don't think a big fish hitting a thing is going to be that much of a problem. But with that said, just the sheer size of these big rocks and big tanks and moving them in and out of it, it's difficult. It's annoying. It's hard. It's problematic. So resin rocks and fake rocks and all that kind of stuff, very much a market for that, just for ease of use, to get it in and out and make things a little bit easier. How do you manage burnout with fish rooms and multiple tanks and fish care? We're now talking about the secret thing that I wasn't going to talk about. It's hard, but I have a kind of philosophy. Burnout, I think, is a YouTube thing rather than that's not true either. Maybe I don't think that after all. So burnout is definitely a thing in YouTube. It's a thing that you have to think about, that you worry about. It's more about, oh, I can't think what to do, and don't do it that way. Multiple fish tanks and fish care is something you should think about whether you have a YouTube channel or not. And the way to avoid burnout in that is make it manageable. So I've made lots of videos and I've talked about this lots about how I deal with MTS, multiple tank syndrome. I have been, I think at my peak I might have had like 35 tanks, something like that, maybe even more. I think I'm down under 20 now, and that has been a conscious decision for me to make sure it's something I can manage. And it's something you have to figure out for yourself as to what is comfortable for you. So me doing my proper job, I sit here, the job that pays the bills, I do from here. So I do my proper job, I do my editing, I do everything I do, it's from here. That means if I want to do a water change on this tank or this tank, I'm already here. So it's not like I have to get up and go somewhere and do a thing. I just get a hose, put it in there, put the other end in there, and it refills automatically. So I've talked a lot about making everything as easy as possible. A couple of videos ago, I was all about maintenance and trying to make maintenance plan for your worst when you're at your lowest. So if you're full of flu and you don't want to do anything, what can you do? Do you want to go around and do 20 different water changes at once and refill 20 different tanks individually, or one 12-foot tank, empty, refills on its own, done? So I have tens of thousands of litres in here that I would maintain is easier for me to maintain than it is for someone who has 5 different tanks, because I've set them up in a way that they don't need me to constantly manage and monitor them. If I want to do a water change, it takes me a second. It doesn't take me away from something else. If I want to do maintenance on it, I'm already here. I don't have to make it a mission to go and do maintenance on it. So there's very much a mindset that I have both tried to cultivate and just accept. So some of it is just, I know I need to do a little bit of work to something, and some of it is, I know I don't want to do some work, so I make it as easy as possible. And that's finding that balance, that it's not too much effort and too much graft that I resent it, and making it as easy as possible so as it's not hard to do, so I don't mind doing it. And just getting that right is so much easier. The fact that I literally from this seat on Mega Tank 2, which is my 12-foot long discus tank, I can turn one valve, leave it for 2 minutes, turn it back again, and change 200 litres. But without leaving my seat. Easy as that. Mega Tank 1, something very similar. I've talked about this in all my videos, and it's more about making sure you've got a way to not do it. So for some people, that might be 5 tanks. For some people, that might be 50 tanks. You just got to find your own rhythm and your own sweet spot, I guess. Multiple tank syndrome, indeed. I tried my damnedest to care for those fish and have them get better, but those fish were just never... Sometimes the hardest lesson to learn is one that you can't always fix everything. And a part of that journey is accepting that you can't always fix everything. And if you can't fix it, don't put yourself in that situation again. So very much like the discus story I was telling you, I could have been me today and bought those discus and they would have died. I haven't learned anything since then that's a magic superpower for caring for discus. They were bad fish. I should never have bought them. I was even worse than that I bought them into an environment that they wouldn't have thrived in anyway. But even if I had got them today with all my knowledge and all my discus expertise, if I have such a thing, they would still have died. So the lesson is learning not to do it again. The lesson is learning to spot that fish isn't well, that fish isn't good. Not buying that fish doesn't mean that it's any better for that fish. That fish is still going to die. It's just not going to die in your care, which is a little bit sad, I guess. Yeah, so wild fish also keep many villages in South America flowing. That is a thing. I used to think that wild fish bad, tank bred fish good. It's not necessarily the case. Well managed wild fish stocks are a world of good. They are genetically superior and they keep entire communities alive and thriving. They keep a rainforest alive. If people are out there managing fish stocks in the Amazon, they're not selling their land to loggers. So there's all kinds of things that are good about it. Right, I realise I've been ranting for a while now. See if there's anything that I've missed. I'm sorry if I'm skipping some messages. You put egg crate under the rocks to spread the weight and protect against digging. Yes, definitely. That is a good thing. So all these tanks have got egg crate in them. And again, that is more about not having pressure points. So that, I don't know, if that weighs 60 kilos or whatever it weighs. I have no idea if that's anywhere near true. I don't want all that in one point hitting the bottom of the glass. And I don't want that all being dug away and having one point hit the glass. So the worst that can happen if something was to erode the sand that it's sitting on is it will land on some egg crate, which will spread that weight. So yes, that's a very good point, Juggler. Yes, I should definitely have mentioned that. I've went and hyped your aquascaping video from yesterday. Oh, thank you, Zenny. You can only do ones that are a week old or less, and I gave you all three of my... Oh. Thank you very much. But for reference, number 100 on the top hype last week has 289,000. So I'm a little way away from that. Oh, fair enough. I think you need to be able to manage your aquariums and not be burned out, since if you want to quit or neglect them, then your animals suffer. Very true. The welfare of your animals should always come first. And yes, very true. Definitely. And there's ways and means to manage that, and it's going to be different for everyone. I wouldn't like to prescribe the way to do this. If you want to have 20 tanks, you must do this. It'd be different for other people. There'll be people who love having their tanks in a separate place to where they are. There'll be people who just could. I just couldn't manage it if they weren't all here. I've talked about opening, like whether it's a shop or a studio or a thing. I worry about that because it's, if I want to come and I don't at the moment come and do maintenance. I'm already here, so just turn around and do maintenance on my tanks. If I had to leave my house to go and do maintenance, that'd be a whole new experience for me. Oh, I'm going to the studio, or I'm going to the gallery, or whatever I'm calling it. I'm going to the shop. Today, I'm off to work. I'm going downstairs. And then I'm in and amongst all my tanks, and if anything needs doing, I get to it. I sit and I have a conference call, and I talk to people about business stuff and IT and go, oh, you're all idiots. And while I'm talking to them, I'm wiping the glass on one of my tanks, or while I'm talking to them, I'm turning on one of the automatic water changes. Or, you know what I mean? It's not something that it's not an extra or a conscious activity to go and do tank maintenance. I just do it because I'm already in here. So I do worry about opening somewhere and having to make the journey to go and do the thing, because that would be an extra thing, and I wonder if is that going to put me off in 6 months' time. Who knows? But there are benefits to doing that as well, to not having it all in here. So we'll see. Currently got 15 tanks. Couldn't have more with the current setups. I have to do manual water changes and top ups with buckets. Yeah, and sometimes you're fine when you reach a limit. I was a bit like that where I was like, well, if I'm having 20, 30 tanks, I'd rather have 3 big ones. And it's not a revelation. I keep saying, oh, it's a revelation having 3 big massive tanks. It's not. It's, if a tank is 60 litres, if a tank is 600 litres or 6,000 litres, it doesn't really matter. It's the same amount of maintenance. It might take a little bit longer to do a water change, but that's kind of it. All tanks in one room was definitely the right move for me and me. Definitely. Making it as easy as possible, that's the way to do it. Check out Project Piaba. Yep, I'm well aware of Project Piaba. It's really good. Definitely worth going and checking it out. It was one of the charities we supported in recent years. I learnt when I had an accident and ended up in a wheelchair, all my big tanks had to go, and now I only have 1 4-foot and a mix of 2-foot and smaller. I think it is about, the right answer for me is not the right answer for you. I'm wary about people who ask me for what should I do? I want a fish room. How should I set up my fish room? I'm like, I don't know. I'm a lazy bastard. So you might have more energy than me. You might have more get up and go. You might not be lazy. It's horses for courses. It's different for everyone. What's the biggest tank you have? The biggest tank is Mega Tank 1. It's getting on for 3,000 litres, 8-foot by 4-foot by 3-foot, plus sumps and things. That's probably the biggest. The biggest in terms of most impressive sounding is probably Mega Tank 2 because it's 12 feet long and it looks, oh, wow. That's pretty good. Wild has genetic diversity on its side, assuming you can avoid the other pitfall. Yeah, so there are some wild fish that live in a sheltered environment, shall we say, and don't transition well. So discus, for instance, wild discus are certainly not as hardy, and I don't like using the term hardy, as their domestic cousins. So there's definitely more to think about from that point of view, but the benefits can sometimes outweigh those challenges, because once you do get them there and acclimatized and stuff, there's a bit stronger in the long term, if that makes sense. See you, Brian. Hope you do well. Didn't you rent a space? I did. So I rented a flat just to have my fish tanks in, my fish room in, while I moved house. So I have been thinking about, been doing sums for setting up a shop, gallery, studio, whatever you want to call it, purely because it has some tax benefits, if nothing else. So I'm thinking about doing something, but I'm not ready to pull the trigger there. On average, how long do you spend enjoying your goldfish tank per week? Good question. So my goldfish tank is in my hallway in the main hall, so I see it every day. I feed it every day. I go through, I walk past it 4 or 5 times a day. I must admit, I don't spend a lot of time sitting watching it. So while so the scenario of me doing a call on work, rather than sitting watching the screen, I'll get up and I'll wander around the fish room and I'll stare into some tanks. So I'll probably spend more time doing that down here than I do up there. It's more about a quick check when I walk past. I might take 5 minutes to just clean the glass. I might just do a count and make sure all the different fish, some of them have got names and kids' favourites and stuff, I'll check them out. But yeah, not all that long. Right, I think we've almost got there. Not done the eliminator yet. So the secret message, the secret thing was, many moons ago, I was asked to do a talk, at my local fish club. And I ended up not doing it in the end. But I also did so my proper job pays for me to do volunteering days. So I did some of my volunteering days I did by going into schools, giving talks on fish keeping and why it's a good hobby and why it's interesting and how lessons you can learn in fish keeping can be applied to your wider life. So I've got talks to do with fish clubs. I've done the ones that I've done at school, and I just started writing down notes, and more notes, and more notes, and then I got asked to do another talk at another fish club. I thought, well, I'll go and check out my notes. And I realised the notes that I'd written down was going to end up with a talk that was going to take about 2.5 hours. So I'm like, all right, so they want 20 minutes, now I've got 2.5 hours of stuff. So I just kept going and just kept writing. And I've kind of written a book by accident. It didn't start as a book. It probably still isn't a book, so I don't think it's got enough words to be a book. But I've tried to format it as a book now, and yeah, I've written a book. So I don't know if I'm ever going to release it or not, because it is a little bit cringe to say that I've written a book when I'm not an author. I haven't really written a book. It's a collection of stories, a collection of musings, a collection of thought experiments, and some of the things we talked about there about how you can use the hobby and apply the lessons you learn in the hobby to the rest of your life. And it uses words like spirituality, which if you'd asked me a year ago if I would ever use that in a sentence other than anyone that uses the word spirituality in a sentence is a wanker, I would have been very surprised. But I think that's kind of the area I've kind of ended up in. So I've put together all these thoughts and thought, well, I've got all these words, I've got all these things. I'll see if I can organize it somehow. And I've tried to organize it. I've sent it to a few people to read, to just check it over and say, is this stupid? How stupid is this? But I thought it might be a nice little stocking filler, a nice little bit of merch if I could have a little. It's going to take you half an hour to read. It's not like it's 10,000 pages or anything. But it has some of the more ethereal learnings and things that I've experienced and think might be a thing as and when I've been doing this hobby. And it's more about, it's not a guide to fish keeping. I don't think I'm a fish keeping expert. It's not a guide to YouTubing. I'm not a YouTube expert. It's more it's not how you do fish keeping, it's why you do fish keeping. It's why I do fish keeping. And some of the lessons I think it's helped me learn and helped me keep my brain straight sometimes when I am virtually wanting to throttle people on my proper job and I can just turn around. It's easy to say fish tank is calming, but it's not easy to explain why. And I still don't think I fully understand why, but I'm starting to explore that and how it going, oh, you're all idiots. Why can't you just do what I tell you to? Oh, take a breath. You can see this little world in a glass box, and it's controllable and it's small, and even when it's too big, it's not too big. And all the lessons about me being shit at everything, like being shit at building mega tanks, but I got better at it. I'm shit at everything. I'm shit at aquascaping, but I'm getting better at it. Once I was shit at fish keeping, and I'm getting better at it. It's using that hobby as a kind of, not a metaphor, not a simile, it's a vehicle to get you to practice, just keep going, keep doing it. Same for everything. Philosophy. I like it, Lisa. Yes. Definitely. So that's it. I've got like 12, 15,000 words. It's a novella if it's anything. It's not the next great literary work, but it's formatted in the form of an easy to read book. And I thought, somebody might like it. There's some funny bits in it. If nothing else, we could try it. Accidentally wrote a book. Yeah, I'm going to need to take you down a notch. Well, it is kind of accidentally wrote a book. Yeah, I didn't. I meant to write a talk and just kept going. So I might. We'll see how it is. I've no idea how to do it. I've no idea how to publish things. I've no idea how to. It's in a PDF format at the moment. Maybe some of you have. I might have to send it to some of you to. I've sent it to a few non-fish keepers who have gone. Yeah, yeah, okay. I don't know if they're just being kind to me or not. So I don't know. Call it a children's book. You only need 10 to 15 words. Yeah, could do that. Access for hero. Oh yeah, there you go. Fill it with pictures. I have been thinking about trying to fill it with pictures because I think pictures would help some of the stories and some of the explanations for the non-fish keepery people. Yeah. So yes, that was my thing that I'm a little bit embarrassed about and a little bit, don't know. So we'll see whether or not that comes to anything. But that might be something we give away as the 100,000 live stream. Is you get a copy, you get an ebook rather than a physical book, something like that. Yeah, publish it so you have something to give away to the Americans. Indeed, but it's feels too grand to say publish it. Right. Anyway, we're doing the eliminator because I have a wedding to go to in Newcastle tomorrow. No, wrong one. Sorry, hang on. So I can't be staying up all night talking to you lot. Maybe I'll read you one chapter. So this is AI Ain't All That. And what we're doing here is I have played off two versions of AI. I have asked one version of AI to describe a fish in less than 50 words without using the name of the fish and without using general terms. So it's not had to say, oh, these fish often come in blues, greens, yellows, etc. I said, nope, one fish, describe it, less than 50 words, go. I've then taken that description, I've put it into another AI and said, draw this fish. So the only thing second AI has got from it is a description of a fish and it's drawn it. Is this making any sense? So one AI has described a fish, another AI has drawn the fish based on that description. So weird looking fish picture is what you're going to get, and you're going to have to guess what that fish is. Does that make sense? Can I have a signed copy? Of course you can, Stuart. Don't be embarrassed. Good idea. I would buy. Well, got one customer already. That'll do. We played the game Telestration. I do not know what that word means. I'm Googling it now. I've never heard of that. Is that like Pictionary? I stumbled on an already existing format. Right, we will start once I get one more beer. Yeah, so maybe we'll do the audiobook live on the next live stream and I'll just read it out to everybody after the loads of beers. All right, we've got 12 people in. Are we ready to go? I think we're ready to go. So this is two AIs. One's describing a fish, the other's drawing it. So what fish did AI think this was? If you want, I can share the notes, but it might make it a bit too easy. Illustrations is one person says a word, another draws it, and then another guesses, and another draws. Okay, so similar, yeah, okay. So you have to think about this from the what would cause AI to draw a fish that was perfectly circular? What? Think of everything. What do these two little lines mean? So the live answers that we've got here. 7 of you have gone with discus, a koi, a piranha, a puffer, a goldfish, an orange laser cory. What? And a goldfish. The description that was given to the AI: a perfectly round, flat-bodied fish glimmers in vivid orange with turquoise blue wavy stripes. Its small, forward-facing mouth and bright red eye sit on a smooth sloping head. Tall, flowing fins mirror each other above and below, edged in a translucent blue that fades gently towards the rounded tail. So the answer is discus. This is going to be hard. If that was the easy one, and we've already lost 8 people. But we've got Zenny, Juggler, Blah, Lemoy, Stevie P, and Amateur Archaeology. Right, are we ready? Question number 2. What is this one? Now, after this one, if you want me to, as well as soon as I show you the question, I will read you the notes if you want me to, if that's helpful in any way. Toothpaste. Right. So I've got 9 of you gone for neon tetra. I've actually included cardinal tetra in there. Because the prompt I gave it was neon tetra, but I thought that's too much like a cardinal tetra because it's got red and blue all the way. The prompt was, so neon tetra is correct, but if you said cardinal, I gave you it. The prompt was a small, slender fish with shimmering metallic blue stripe from nose to tail. Beneath it, a vivid red band glows along the lower half of its body. The fins are tiny, translucent, and delicate, and the body tapers elegantly to a narrow, slightly forked tail. So it should be a cardinal because it's drawn the red all the way rather than half the way like a neon. So I've given you it if you said cardinal. So we've still got the same people in. Right. Would you like me, by voting yes or no or whatever, would you like me to give you the notes at the same time as I show you the picture? So it adds in a little bit of because it takes time for me to read it. So you could guess it if you get it straight away, or you could listen. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. So when I show you question 3, I will start reading at the same time. So question 3, here comes your image. What? A tiny streamlined fish with narrow body and a large flowing tail shaped like a fan or veil. Its scales shimmer in shifting blues and golds, the fins are long and delicate, the tail patterned with small speckles and streaks that radiate from the base outward. What do we think that is? The answers, we've got 5 guppies, 2 Daniels, 1 rainbow fish, 1 golden minnow, and 1 Congo tetra. It was indeed a guppy. Tiny streamlined fish with narrow body, large flowing tail shaped like a fan or veil. Oh, lost a couple there. So we've only got Zenny, Juggler, Blah, and Amateur Ichthyology. Question 4. Here we go. A broad, oval-bodied fish with powerful muscular shape and thick lips. Its body is deep charcoal with patches of fiery orange scattered irregularly across its flanks. The fins are large, rounded, and edged in dark velvet tones, blending smoothly into the tail like flowing smoke. AI is on drugs. What do you think? Everybody has voted for the same thing here. There's this an easy one. Almost everyone. 11 for Oscar, 1 for Parrotfish. It was an Oscar. Well done, everyone. Question 5. A small, deep-bodied fish with pointed snout and short fins. Its golden orange body is crossed by 4 thick vertical black stripes. The fins are tipped with red, the tail slightly forked, and the scales shimmer faintly like brushed metal in warm light. What could that be? If it wasn't for the small, deep-bodied fish, I would have gone with clown loach as well. But this was, in fact, tiger barb. We're down to 2. All right, question 6. This is where they start to get hard. Traditionally, this is where it gets hard. Question 6. A perfectly round, laterally flattened fish that gleams like polished metal. Its body is silver with faint bluish reflections and a slightly translucent edge. The fins are short and clear, the tail forked but soft, and a small mouth sits neatly in front beneath a large dark eye. Oh, I can just show you the notes at the same time. I should have done that earlier, sorry. Oh no. The typing part disappeared. Or is that because I clicked on that? Is that any better? Wah, wah, wah. Right, I think only Mandy and Aquatic Menagerie were in, so just type in chat what you thought it was. It says both Zenny and amateur ichthyology are still survivors. It was indeed a silver dollar. So right, if it doesn't, I'll give you an extra life. Oh. So it says you're still in. Right. Question 7. Let's try again. A slender eel-like fish with long, flexible body that gently tapers to a fine tail. Smooth skin alternates even, between dark chocolate bands and pale golden yellow stripes. The head is narrow with small eyes and short whisker-like feelers at the mouth, giving it a secretive nocturnal look. This is where I have to spell everyone's spelling. The amount of people that are making me spell Coolie Loach wrong. There you go. It was a Coolie Loach. Well done, everyone. So we're all still in. Question number 8. Here we go. A small, stocky, bottom-dwelling fish with a rounded snout and downward-facing mouth framed by fine whisker-like barbels. Its body is bronze-brown, covered with a mosaic of white spots that grow denser towards the head. The fins are rounded and orange-tinted. The tail short and fan-shaped with faint banding. Fish sick with ick is not correct. I just remind everyone that there's no such thing as a corridora. Your answers were corridoras, bronze Cory. I haven't given you that. It was a stare-by Cory. Stare-by Cory. I've given it to the people who've gone with corridorus and stare-by Cory. If you said stare-by, you got the points. Meaning we only have amateur ichthyology left, although Zenny might be still in because she gets an extra life. Question 9. A flat-bodied, armour-plated fish with broad head and wide suction cup mouth beneath. Its body is dark brown, speckled with pale dots tapering to a flat tail. From snout sprout short, fleshy bristles. like tiny roots. The fins are large, triangular, and lie close to the body. Sweet corn poopfish. No, it's not one of them. Sweet corn poopfish. I like that. Bristlenose pleco with thick. I spelt that wrong. Bristol. Oh, you spelled it wrong. Bris. LT. The bristlenose pleco. Did you tell it was supposed to be drawing fish? I did. Do you know what? It was really good at doing it first, and I had to tell it to stop going and looking at external sources because it was making the fish too easy. So I was like, you have no other information other than this description. Just draw what it says. And this is what it came up with. But amateur ichthyology still in. Going for the final question. Theoretically the hardest one. And I will be a little bit particular about your answer for this one. I want it to be exact. Question 10. A thick-bodied, torpedo-shaped fish with a blunt, expressive face and large golden eyes. Its sandy yellowed back is streaked with irregular dark lines that run lengthwise. The belly is pale and smooth. The fins are small and rounded, while the tail is broad, fan-like and edged in translucent yellow. What is? Went Maboo. So close. It's a Fahakapuffer. We have a winner. It can only be one. Unless there's two. But amateur ichthyology got 9 correct. Oh, so close. So close. If we look at eliminated, Zenny got 7 correct. John got 6. Strabo, Juggler, Blah, and Stevie P got 5. I think. Error 44, Lemoy got 4, Scanzarno got 3, Lee had 2, Applegal 1, Teresa and No Chance, none. 9 out of 10 is pretty good. So, take your applause. Take your applause. Well done, amateur ichthyology. AI was on drugs, so, you know, you did well out of that. Right. What do you think of that? I thought that was quite fun. I'm trying to get more interesting things for the Eliminator to make it a little bit more challenging. That was definitely challenging. I don't know if it was fun, though. But I thought it was quite good. It is 20 past 11. It's time for me to go. You don't have to stay here. You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here. That's what I meant to say. This time next week, it's the big one. I would like you to tell all your friends. I want everyone to come and join. I'll be giving prizes out up the wazoo. I want a little bit of a community party atmosphere. We're going to be having lots of fun, lots of games, lots of giveaways. To celebrate, because I think it is something worth celebrating. You guys are key and instrumental into getting me into 100,000 subscribers. When I first started this, again, this is in my book. Buy my book. When I first started this, I remember getting to 30 subscribers and going, I don't know 30 people. Who are these 30 people? Why are they watching me? Is this a security breach? What's going on? And then I remember hitting 500 subscribers and being like, what is going on? I don't understand. Why is there 500 people watching me in my garage growing discus? What's going on? It blew my mind. And to think that I've come from that to 100,000 people. I can't even comprehend 100,000 people. And you guys are the ones that turn up every week and have a chat and have a hangout, and love it. It's very good. So we're going to have a celebration of all those things. I'm going to try and show how thankful I am that you've all stuck with me as long as you have done. It's quite emotional. It's quite emotional that we've come this far. Yeah, we'll talk a little bit about the book. If you're interested in being a tester or seeing what's going on, or just, I could use some tough but fair feedback to see if it is just utter bollocks and I shouldn't release it. That'd be useful. So get in touch. And if nothing else, tell your friends. Make sure they click that subscribe button so we definitely get over the line. So we do this next week. And we'll do it all again next week. Have you got space set aside for your obligatory YouTube plaque? It's going right there. I definitely have. It's going right there. It's been a fun ride. It definitely has. Has though, hasn't it? I've enjoyed it. That's the only reason and again, buy my book. The only reason I keep doing it, the only reason I've been successful is because I keep doing it. And the only reason I keep doing it is because I have fun doing it. All this talk of burnout, all this talk of content strategy, all the serious stuff, it comes down to I quite like doing it and I have fun doing it, so I'll keep doing it. If you keep doing it, the amount of people I've seen come and go over the years, and I've seen it with this community as well, even from when we started live streaming. I've not been live streaming as long as I've been making videos, but there's a completely different community that turns up to my live streams now than turned up 3 years ago, that turned up 5 years ago. It moves on, it changes, it evolves, it's different, but I've enjoyed every stage of it. I've been the constant because it's always been me here. I've enjoyed hanging out with you guys. And I get that you can't hang out forever. I get you've got other things to do. I get that I get boring. There's more fun things to do out there. But thanks for coming along. That's all I can say. Thanks. See you next week. It's going to be an emotional one. I'll try not to cry. But I think we could have some fun. Bye.